folks. Right, doing this, it's a tag. It's called My Life in Movies. I think what it sort of means is how movies are in your life, how they affect your life, all that sort of thing. 14 questions, so I'm going to answer them. Don't expect the sort of answers you might assume you're going to get, because they probably won't be very gothic at all. Probably won't be very dark. I'll probably get freaking stuck because I don't know what they are. I haven't sort of read them. I am a movie watcher. I've got flipping, I don't know how many DVDs, so I do watch films. I don't go fanatical over films. I love them. I don't get rid of them. If I watch a film, I'm not like some people. Oh, I've watched it, don't want to see it again. I can watch them again, and that's probably to my detriment, because I keep watching films I like, and then I've got bloody films that I haven't got round to seeing, and I got some bloody good ones that I need to get around to seeing. I'm looking up there because that's where they are. I got some bloody marvellous, if you would call goth type films that we'd go and actually watch. Some bloody lovely ones up there that I need to watch. If I weren't doing these, I'd probably freaking watch it. But then again, maybe I won't. Anyway, there's 14 questions, so I'm going to try and get through them. So like I said, might be a bit boring. I've done a sort of movie one in the past and deliver that spectacular. Depends what questions are asked. I never really get asked the questions that fit into what my movie taste and all that goes to, really. So you just have to answer what's there, and it doesn't always necessarily fall in. So let's have a look. Let me start with question 1. I'll have to put these on. Question 1, first steps. First film I remember seeing as a kid. I can't. We didn't have TV as a kid. Not really till I was pretty flipping old. Going out to the cinema, we never did. So I'm trying to think when the first film I saw. I don't know if anybody remembers it that's a bit long in the tooth like me. Saturdays in the cinemas used to have what I think it was called the Saturday Club, and it was on at a certain time, and kids went, parents went with them, or whoever was taking them, but it was called Saturday Club, and he went along, and it was some of the same things. I think some of the films actually you would probably call a series, so I don't know whether they actually used them for TV at all, or and used them in the cinema or what, but that's probably my first experience. And if I remember just 2 from that period, and going on the Saturday Club, and somebody that did it might well have put me right on these. There was one, it was a cowboy and his sidekick, and his I don't know whether the cowboy, his sidekick, used to sort of fall to one side and hang on the side of the horse while he was going along. And I think the sidekick was called Dick West. It wasn't the Lone Ranger, but it was something similar to that, and and Dick West. That was probably one of my first. along with, they used to have Cisco Kid and Pancho, his sidekick. They were like short films, so that was probably, and I know they did Lassie, I think. So they're the three I can remember from that specific time. So they would have probably been my first experience of being in a cinema watching a film. And just to go off the topic, you won't know how bloody old I am. You'll all know The Lone Ranger and Tonto. I remember seeing the very first episode of The Lone Ranger when he didn't have a mask. He didn't have a mask, he didn't have the white outfit, he didn't have his horse. I remember seeing that episode, the very first episode. And if you look at some of the old ones now, they're all scratching, grumbly music. That's going back some bloody way, isn't it? But no, that's probably my first experience of film at the Saturday Club. And it was probably a lot of people's first experience of film. Number 2, teenage crush. Which actor, actress did you have a crush on? Teenage. Well, I don't know if I was quite a teen. I don't know whether I was about 11 or 12. We'll call it a teen. We'll call it 11 teen and 12 teen. I don't believe it. 11 teen or 12 teen I was. I really had a crush on Marilyn Monroe, and it was an innocent crush, innocent love, nothing to do with what people look on as love now, sex and all that sort of bloody thing. It was just pure love the person and love the look of them, and the fact that they'd probably be there and talk to you and hold your hand or whatever. So it was a real pure childhood love. But yeah, that was probably my crush as a very early 11 teen, 12 teen or something. Later in my teens, I can't remember having specific. Bloody hell, I gotta go see, is this my crush? I didn't get crushes really until the 80s, when, along with just about every other man on the flipping planet, I got a crush on Debbie Harry, and had my own blondie jacket and everything. And I still ain't had a freaking word with them all yet. How dare you freaking have a crush on her when I was having a crush on her. Just freaking, you probably moved on now. Ruined my life. Right. 3, bad choices, good outcome. Name a movie you watched and enjoyed even though you thought you'd hate it. I never really did. If I thought I did, I wouldn't like it. Probably never watched it. But I did buy a film that I didn't hate, but thought, yeah, I'll buy it. So I'll buy it. Master and Commander. It was the old sailing ships. And I had surround sound at the time, speakers. And eventually, I got round to watching it, because I'd look at it and I'd think, just don't sound bloody excited. It looks a bit freaking boring. Why did I buy it? But eventually I got round and I put it on. Story wasn't that bad. well, it was that bloody good. I can't remember the actual story, but what I do remember of it is that in the battle scenes where the cannonballs were coming over, you could hear them coming over, and they'd hit the wood decks or whatever wood, and there'd be splinters, sort of slow motion, and you get these squeaky splinter sounds and everything, and it was bloody amazing. The surround sound, you could just hear all this splintering of the wood and the cannonball coming through the air and everything. It was so bloody realistic. So I did come out of that film going, bloody hell, I really enjoyed that film. Would I have enjoyed it so much without the surround sound? I don't know. But I can't remember any other film that I've sort of divvied around with for bloody ever sort of, should I watch it, shouldn't I? Don't really feel like bloody watching it. And then I did, and I liked it. Would I rush to pick it out and watch it again? No. If I bought surround sound again, would I look at it? I'd watch it just to see if it sounded as good as it did the first time. So, yeah, that was it really. Wasn't. What's the point of buying films that you think, I don't know why I bloody bought it. I think it was a big film at the time. 4, a little intimate. Oh, this one's a little intimate. Shut your bloody ears. What movie did you see on a first date? First date? Look at me. The first date wasn't bloody freaking 5 years ago or so. It was... What movie on my bloody first date? I can't remember the first movie I saw on my first date. Let me... If there was, it wasn't that exciting that I bloody remembered. Now again, I'm going to be talking to the older ones, and it's probably gone through the generations. But I remember back in my day, I can't remember any couples or any two on the first date or whatever saying, I really want to see that bloody film, let's go and see it because it's something we should do on our first date. People went to the cinema on the first date because it was warm, it wasn't wet and rainy, it was semi-darkness, especially when the screen went darker, and there was back rows, and so people, couples, young couples, dating couples, went to the cinema to have a bit of a snog and a cuddle at the back. Whether or not, I don't know, I don't even know if anybody would want to admit it, that they remember the first film. Well, they might remember what they actually paid to go and see, whether or not they could sort of tell you what it was all about, and oh yeah, I remember this bit and that bit. So no, I can't remember the bloody first film I went on a first date. I'd hazard a guess if it was a film that I actually went to and didn't see, or bits of it, it would have, at that particular period of time, it would have probably have had to have been a Hammer film. Nearly dropped my H there. It was probably one of the Draculas or whatever. But I would have gone at some other time to see the film. But no, I can't bloody remember. Um, and if anybody else in my age bracket turns around and said, "Oh, it was so and so," what the fucking hell were you doing? What were you doing? And if you're a bloke, poor woman probably held that against you for the rest of her bloody life. Let's go see the film, sweetheart. It's lovely, isn't it? Just going, yeah, fine, lovely. Right. Home comforts. What movie reminds you of time with your family? Probably National Lampoon. That's something very similar, probably. National Lampoon films, yeah, you're probably going to hit it somewhere along the line. So yeah, that's a quick one. First heartbreak. What movie really upset you or hit you more than you thought? Again, I'm one of these people that I don't let things get to me too much. If it's a sad end or whatever, I just think, bloody crap, and I make up my own end. So I walk out the cinema, no, that didn't bloody happen, this happened. I make up my own ending. But yeah, if there's one film that I wasn't sitting there going, oh, bloody hell, but I thought, that's freaking good, isn't it? I can't remember that it's an American city, Angels over, is it Seattle? Angels over somewhere. And Meg Ryan, I think it is. And there's, you see angels, like people looking down in the mouths at people where they're sort of watching over. And I'm trying. I've bloody forgot who was the angel now. I don't know if Meg Ryan was the angel or the bloke was the angel. I think it was the bloke was the angel. And so he was angelic and fell in love. They both fell in love. And I don't think it was particularly meant that it could be. But the only way it could be is if this person became sort of, gave up their angelic bit and became sort of human and lived a life. Live a life and die the same as the person they love. And it was bloody fantastic. Love it. Great love story. Gets the thing. The angelic goes, I am now human as such. What happens? Gets frickin' knocked down and killed. What the frickin' hell's that about? Upset? Of course I was frickin' upset. Built me up all the way through the bloody film. He's now human, got a life to live. She's frickin' gone. Yeah, you could say that was bloody upsetting. Right. Leave me know, what movie was the first you watched without your family? Not going to mess about with this one. I ain't got the freaking faintest. Who the bloody hell goes? Must remember this, because one day somebody's going to ask me what is the first film you watched without your family. I didn't go around thinking to myself, I am watching this film with my family. And now I'm not watching this one with my family. Bloody hell. Who writes these? Um, 8. Good times. What movie do you watch the most and why? Yes, it's not The Crow, it's not The Craft, it's not some horror film. I'm a pretty sentimental, romantic sort of flipping bloke, really. Um, I bought the film, watched it one year. I'm not sure why. I think a girlfriend that lived a long way away said, "We'll both get this film and we'll both watch it at a certain time on a certain evening together. But you'll be here, or I'll be here, and you'll be way down the bloody country." But we did. And I bloody enjoyed it, and that was love, actually. And I've loved it ever since. 10 love stories all going on at the same time. It's an amazing film. I don't care if people think I'm a bloody soppy. I don't care if they think, oh, he is a bloody chick flick watcher or whatever. 10 love stories all going on at the same time, and it's a bloody wonderful film. More people should be more into that sort of thing. My flipping head's flying everywhere. So yeah, I watch that a lot. And I've had times where if I'm feeling sort of pretty down, want uplifting, stick it on and it flipping uplifts you. And if you haven't watched it, and get it and watch some of the bits, even if you don't look at it from beginning to end, find out what are the good parts and watch them, the exceptional parts, and the part with Hugh Grant as the Prime Minister of England. There's some flipping lovely gems in there. There's the gem where the lad goes up to the door to tell this girl that had just got married to somebody else that he loved her, and he was sort of saying goodbye in a way, and he's putting these cards up with words on. Some bloody marvellous bits. So that is probably my most watched film. Now I watch other stuff. I watch goth type films. I watch semi-horror. I'm more into the witchy ghosty stuff. I'm not much into the let's just slash everybody to bits for the bloody sake of it. I like something with a gets your mind going and you go, ooh. So, but yeah, so I watch all that stuff, but the film that I've probably seen the most and will keep having a look at, Love Actually. That's a freaking shock to you, isn't it? Ta-da! Learn a new language. What is your favourite non-English film? I've never had a favourite non-English film, but I just put it up there the other day. I did buy a couple of weeks back, and again, I haven't watched it yet. I've seen bits of it on YouTube, and it's called Angela stroke A. No, that's wrong. Angel stroke A. Angela, but she's sort of like an angel. It's French, and she helps this bloke that is just about to jump off a bridge. But there's some lovely bits in it, and it's subtitled. So I'm looking forward to watching that. That will probably be the only film, yeah, that's in a different language that I've had a big desire to be a fan of, and only that really because some of it reminds me very much of me, which was a hell of a bloody shock to me when somebody put a clip up and I watched it, and it was hard looking at yourself. So that's why it's special to me. Can't leave the sofa. What series on TV got you hooked? I haven't watched TV for about 3, might be 4 years now. So I'll have to go back. There's lots of things I love. These like Star Trek and all that. 2 series that I love Buffy, but 2 series that I really, really did love, and both of them got bloody took off eventually. One was Charmed. I really flipping like that, and the other was Ghost Whisperer, and it used to get me every bloody time. It'd start, the spirit would turn up, and it'd be an evil little bugger, and by the end of the film you flipping loved this spirit because it was a bloody nice spirit, and there always were a nice spirit. They were just had an issue at the beginning. They had an issue that she sorted out, and then she helped him over, but I love that. And then for some bloody unknown reason the studio shelved it or something, didn't do any more. And I never understand why. I don't know if it had gone down in ratings in America, but it was bloody big over here. Could have just kept it bloody going for us. Bloody loved it. 11, sick day. What movie do you watch if you feel well? If you don't feel well, you won't cheer up. Well, I just said that. It would probably be Love Actually, because there's so much in it. I can see people. Tough. Looking to the future, what movies are you looking forward to seeing? Love Actually. Well, actually, I don't know what's coming out, so I couldn't really say, to be honest. Like I said, I'm not a big movie buff. Our town, not a very big town, just building a. They had one a few years back, but like people in the world do, they get bloody rid of it, and now they're building one. So we're getting a 6-screen cinema. The cinemas seem to do these offers. You pay so much a month and you can go and see what you like as many times as you like. Will that entice me to go and see more? Possible. I don't know. I don't know what's coming up, so I haven't got any desire where I've got to go see that. I think I did see a trailer of something and thought, oh, that'd be bloody good, but I can't remember what the hell it was now. I'm going to have to try and look that up. I'm not a big fan of a lot of remakes, especially when the remake the original, not a follow-on or anything. It's a remake, because they usually louse the bloody thing up anyway. So yeah, future-wise, we'll just have to see what comes up. I'm not sitting here going, apart from that one I can't bloody remember. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, isn't it? Because it looked bloody good. Which means it's probably bloody rubbish. Living in the past, what old movie would you like to see remade? None of them, because not unless they're going to make a bloody better job of the crap that was done the first time. Like I said, generally, once upon a time, there was probably lots of remakes, and the bloody remakes are pretty good. But this day and age, they're bloody rubbish because they fill it full of CGI and very little script. So somebody says, what was it about? 5 minutes you tell them, and the rest of the 2 hours is CGI and bloody total rubbish. So yeah, I'm not the greatest fan of remakes that tend to cock the bloody things up. And the last one, you'd be pleased to know. End of the road. What 3 films do you think you will always enjoy watching? Well, that's the bloody same question 3 times, isn't it? 3 films I'll always enjoy watching. Love Actually, The Crow, The Craft, Bram Stoker's Dracula. You can't say bloody 3, can you? There's loads of them. But The Crow, The Craft will always be 2 I'll watch. Love Actually, I've got to say that, otherwise I've bloody lied all the way through the beginning of it. I got so many films there that I watch again. But yeah, if somebody said, what's your favourite goth films, The Crow, The Craft are there at the top. If somebody said, what's your favourite other films, the Love Actually is going to be at the top of that. So yeah, there you are, folks. I know, freaking boring. You're saying to yourself, did I spend all that bloody time just to bloody watch that? And if some of you turned off after about 2 minutes, bloody shame on you, because you missed out when I talked about you. So now you're going to have to freaking watch it to see what I said. So folks, yeah, I was tagged to do it. So what I'll do is I'll put the questions down there so you can make an answer yourself, the same as me. I'm not going to tag anybody because they spit fire at you if you do, generally. So if you want to do it, do it. I hope you do, because it's a bit of fun. Don't be afraid to say what you want to say, not what you think people want to hear, because people have probably wanted to hear all sorts of wonderful things from me, and it's not that bloody wonderful. I'm probably pretty boring as films go, but I've got other things that I do. So folks, have fun, look at the questions, see if you want to do it, do or don't do what I do. But if you do it what you do and how you feel and what you want to say. Don't sugar puff it up just so it all looks nice and we go, wow. Because I'll go, wow, whatever you look at. Maybe. If it's all rap films, I'm going to bloody turn it off. Fun.